Hey y'all! So in today's tutorial we're going to talk about how to get a really pretty soft but flawless face using all drugstore products. I went to go film a fall makeup look and it was a freaking disaster. I wiped it off and we started fresh with this particular tutorial, so I hope you guys like it. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Please, it's free, it's easy. I promise I won't bug you all the time. You know the drill. Just subscribe. And I guess let's just get started. Actually, I've had a few friends request basically a foundation routine video and kind of focusing on my techniques to get a flawless face or flawless face. So I thought we would do that instead and go through the tools and the brushes that I use to create that. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to go with more of a drugstore primer option. The Maybelline Baby Skin primer is pretty good, or the, which is over there, is the Soap and Glory One Heck of a Blot primer. So once your face is primed, it should feel really smooth and really soft. That is a step that I would not skip when it comes to using liquid foundation or applying foundation. I think I always apply a primer no matter like what look I'm going for, so it just depends, I guess, on your skin type, but I would definitely recommend using a primer even if you have dry skin or oily skin or whatever. Okay, so I like to apply my foundation with a damp beauty sponge. These are actually, this one is actually from a company called Beauty Junkies. They're on Amazon. I'll be sure to link it down below so you guys can check it out. These are amazing beauty sponges and they are, they're inexpensive. They're really inexpensive. So not as much as a beauty blender. And we're going to go in with some Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation. Ever since I got this foundation, I have loved it so much. I just think it's so good. And then I take the end of the beauty sponge and dip it into the foundation and then kind of just dot it on my face. And I start down here. And then you want to be sure to work the foundation down your neck some. That way you're not have like a clear demarcation line right here. So you just want to do like pouncing motions across your face with a sponge and apply it and blend it out. Even put it on your ear if you need to. So I'm going to avoid bringing foundation all the way up here because we're going to be applying concealer there. And I don't want like too many layers of makeup or too much makeup right in here, and where it starts I can't talk, you guys. It's going to start getting really cakey right there if you start applying foundation all the way up there, concealer, powder, all that jazz. So try to think just keeping the layers as thin as possible, and even keeping your layer of foundation as thin as possible too. You know, where you're getting the coverage that you want, but you're not going too crazy with it. So you want to be sure to get foundation kind of into your hairline. Again, down your neck. And I always take the end of the sponge and get right around my nose right here. I'm pretty well covered through here. Obviously we're putting concealer here, so we don't have to worry about that just yet. I do have a little like homie right here, kind of trying to play me a little bit. So I am going to take just a little bit of foundation on my finger and we're going to go right over that one area. And I'm going to take the end of my sponge and just kind of blend that out a little bit. Just for like a little bit of coverage, and if you have any other areas like that that you need to cover or that you just feel like need a little bit more attention, but you don't want to go in with another layer of foundation. Again, that'll help keep it a little bit more natural-like and very soft and a little less cakey. So I'm going to go in with some concealer. Today we're going to use, where is it? An oldie but a goodie, the Maybelline Fitme concealer. This is in the color Fair. This is one of my favorite drugstore concealers ever. As far as a high-end concealer, if you want to splurge a little bit, I usually use the Tarte Shape Tape, which I think you guys have probably seen me use that, either on my channel or on my Instagram page. I really like that concealer a lot. But I feel like Maybelline Fitme is just as good, honestly. I mean, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to draw the concealer down this way in a triangle. This is going to help lift everything, make it look really bright in the whole area, and make you look very awake and youthful. We're also going to blend this out with a sponge. So I'm going to be sure to bring it down here. And I have some redness right here that I'm just going to go ahead and cover with some concealer. And get right under the eyes. And if I didn't already have my eye makeup done, I would take the concealer all over on my lid and in the inner corner here where I have kind of some darkness. We are really well concealed, I feel like. Obviously for me, some of my freckles are still kind of showing through, but that doesn't bother me. We don't have any redness or anything crazy going on, and as far as like our skin showing through, anything like that. So I'm going to go in with the NYX HD Setting Powder, and this is in Banana. This is my all-time favorite under eye powder from the drugstore. And I just take it on my damp sponge and apply it right under the eye right here. For me, obviously, this is where I crease, or I have, you know, most people do. You're going to crease right there, and you want to make sure you set your concealer so you don't get creasy. And it'll help keep the makeup lasting a little longer, too. I'm also going to bring this down here and around my nose. Like that. Okay, then we're going to take the NYX HD Finishing Powder in Translucent. Now I know this won't work on all skin tones, so if you are dark skin tone, you might want to just test it out first before you purchase it, or I don't really know how that works, but you know, you don't want to get any flashback, but it does blend out completely. I mean, it's clear. There's no excess, or there's no true color to it. Now I'm going to take it on this big Wet n Wild powder brush, and we're going to take it on the chin here. I'm going to also take it down the neck since we do have foundation on our neck. This is going to help ensure that your foundation stays in place, that it's set like it should be, and it's not going to move. Take some of this on my sponge again and then apply it to my nose a little bit, heavier handed, and let it sit for a little bit. I'm going to kind of bake my nose only because my nose gets really oily. So if you do have an oily T-zone and there's particular areas on your skin that your foundation does break up on you, take a little bit extra powder on a damp sponge and just kind of place it where you want it and let it sit while you do the rest of your makeup, and then you can go back and just dust whatever you need away like that, okay? Does that make sense? I hope my pregnancy brain is not coming through on this video too crazy, because I want it to make sense and I want it to be helpful for you guys. So, okay, I'm going to take this Real Techniques contour brush, and we are going to powder contour just a little bit. I'm going to go with the Wet n Wild contouring palette in Dulce de Leche, and we're going to lightly contour. And I think powder contour is the best place to start if you are new to contouring, because you can kind of blend it away and it won't be as scary or harsh or intimidating to you. So when you contour, you want to find the hollows of your cheeks, like right here. And this is just going to help slim your face and kind of accentuate those cheekbones. So we're going to take it and just blend, and we're going to make sure to keep it back here on the hairline, and you don't want to go too far forward. Okay, so we're just keeping it right back here and really soft and blended. So really light motions. I'm holding my brush at the end too, which helps keep your motions really light. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can tell a difference. Hopefully you can. I feel like I can. We kind of have a little bit more of a definition right here. That's kind of the point. Then I'm going to take some into my hairline. And now this is optional, but you kind of need to figure out the shape of your face and what you like best. So I take it from where I stopped the contour all the way up, and you want to get as close to the hairline as possible. Again, this is kind of creating that like facelift vibe, basically. So again, nothing too harsh, nothing too severe, really well blended. I do really like this brush for contouring, and again, it's Real Techniques, so it is at the drugstore. And then next is a drugstore bronzer, and this is from Physicians Formula. This is the Bronze Booster. I actually was going to purchase the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula because I've heard good things about that. Oh, I'm sorry, about it. But they did not have the color the other day. They only had the light one, so no. Okay, so this is a big fluffy brush from BH Cosmetics. BH Cosmetics is online, so it's technically not in drugstores, but it's drugstore price. It's very inexpensive, and this is one of my favorite brushes. I literally do not think I could do my makeup without this brush, because I love bronzer and I have to bronze, and this is the perfect brush to bronze with. So we're gonna basically warm the face up and take this kind of over where we have the contour. And then just bring it forward a little bit, kind of like you're applying blush. You're sweeping it back. Okay, so just add some warmth. It helps with the contour. Again, it's nothing too harsh, and you go in circular motions, and to me, it just looks so nice. Again, I usually skip contouring and just bronze, like on a day-to-day basis, and I feel like once you start applying bronzer into your routine, you'll never be able to stop. Like, I know that sounds so dramatic. I'm being very dramatic today, but it's very true. Like, it just does something with your face, just really brings life and oomph back into your face, especially after you've applied, you know, your foundation and your concealer. Just brings it all together. And you want to apply bronzer with more of a soft brush like this, or kind of like maybe even a powder brush. That way it's not too harsh, and you're kind of just really diffusing everything. And that's kind of like the key in your mind when you're applying these powders, is just think soft and blended. Okay, and next in my routine anyways is highlight, and this is very optional, but I like to highlight. I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Precious Petals, and I take this Real Techniques brush. This is technically a setting brush, so it's to set under the eyes, but I like to use this for a highlight brush, and it's a really good highlighting brush drugstore option. So take some on my brush here. We're just going to highlight. So we're going to go up here on the top of the cheekbones, sweeping back that way, and then I'm going to take some right here and then sweeping it around, so kind of a C shape. But we're basically doing it a backward C because we're going from here up to here. And then just kind of blend it across. So this is going to make you look really youthful and just glowy and pretty. I do have a when and how and why and where this came from video that I will link down below if you want to learn more about highlighting and why it's even a thing, because it is very popular. If you follow any makeup you know, Instagrams or other makeup YouTubers, you're gonna know that this is like people live, breathe, and die highlighter. I'm gonna take a little bit on the tip of my nose. It's really soft. A little bit on my chin, nothing crazy. And then I always take some on my finger and apply some to my Cupid's bow. Again, all of this is completely optional, so don't feel like you need to do this. Then we're going to go with some blush. This is Wet n Wild Apricot in the Middle. If you guys have been watching any of my makeup tutorials, like my old ones, you guys know this is my ride or die drugstore blush. I really love this blush, so thought it would be good to bust out today. Oh, this is not a drugstore blush brush. I just realized that. Shoot. We're going to take this Real Techniques blush brush. I used to not use this as a blush brush, but we're going to use it as a blush brush today because I'm trying to stay drugstore. I've used it before as a blush brush, but it's not my typical one. And we're just going to apply this right here on the cheeks and then sweep it back. So you don't want to go like just right here. Because that's not very natural. That's not how you naturally flush. You kind of naturally flush all the way across your cheek. And you also want to keep it soft, obviously. Nothing too intense. And if you kind of want to smile a little bit to help you guide kind of where you want to start it placed at, do that. Whatever is easiest for you. But again, you don't want to go just like bam right here and that's it. You want to kind of blend and go back. Blend and go back. The final face step is just applying either some setting spray or some MAC Fix Plus or whatever you prefer to set with. I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild setting spray. I also like the NYX matte setting spray a lot, but it's over there and I'm not going to get up and get it. So we're going to go with the Wet n Wild one. Let that dry. And that's it for the face. So we're pretty well covered. Not pretty well covered. We are covered. I feel like we're smooth and a little glowy. Soft glow. Just soft and pretty. Okay, so that is it for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful and it made some kind of sense. I'm sorry if I'm a little scatterbrained. I am currently 38 weeks pregnant and I'm just kind of all over the place. I am pre-filming right now, so you guys will see this until after I have the baby. So just an FYI. But I hope it was a little bit helpful, and I feel like the overall face is very achievable, so you guys do not feel intimidated. Just get the right tools. That's really my number one suggestion, and then just start practicing and kind of figure out products that work for you and techniques that work for you and your face shape. And you'll do fine, I promise. So if you're new to my channel, please do not forget to subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye. Is that always the way it works? Like you do your makeup for no reason and you just look like it goes so smooth, you're like done. You do your makeup for something that's really important and you're like, I need to make sure I look good, and everything goes wrong.